Padres Chargers forever. Working on my player starting pitcher here for a brand new series of mine. No, this will not be a series. I'm already 5 years into this guy's MLB career, I believe. So, no, this is not a new series. Like another my player, I should say, but it is a what could have been series. And our first one is a fairly recent tragedy. Baseball fans, you probably remember the Nick Adenhart tragedy. For those tragedy, I can't talk. So pretty much what happened was Adenhart was the top prospect for the Angels. By the way, the Angels are my second favorite team after the Padres. As you can tell by the username, I'm a diehard Padres fan, and they blew it again this year, but whatever. Okay, back on to the topic. So, Adenhart was the top prospect for the Angels, came through their system, had a couple starts in 2008, they didn't go too well. He was considered to be this really good person, quiet guy, polite guy. So, also a hard worker apparently, dedicated, because he worked on, I said dedicated, I got stuck halfway between dedication and dedicated. And then, what happened was, he went home after that season where he had the cup of coffee, 2008, went home and studied some pictures of the past, and the results showed in the Angels spring training that year, as he made the rotation, partially due to injuries to John Lackey and Kelvin Escobar. So anyway, he pitches 6 scoreless innings against the Angels. Really? Excuse me. Against the A's for the Angels in the big leagues in his season debut on April 8th. 6 shutout innings. Doesn't get the win, though, as the Angel bullpen blows it. As you see, he gets a no decision here in the game the Angels lose. So, anyways, he pitches the 6 scoreless innings, and then but the bullpen blows it. He doesn't get the win. As I'm going to go through the save menu here and skill points and all that, just because the gameplay is pretty irrelevant. I'm just supposed to kind of talk over it. So anyways, early the next morning, well, I should say later that night. I mean, after the game is what I'm going to say. He leaves a little before midnight, according to Torrey Hunter, because that's when he said that he left the ballpark, and he said Nick left around the same time. Anyway, so he's out with friends. He's the passenger in the car with Courtney Stewart, Cal State Fullerton cheerleader, sports agent Harry Pearson, I believe it was, and John Willite, his friend, a former Cal State Fullerton catcher. So they're driving, and then there's this red minivan driven by a guy named Andrew Thomas Gallo, also 22 years old. And he had a history of drinking and driving. He was driving with a suspended license. He'd been caught on DUI before. And he runs a red light in his minivan. He sends the car that Stewart was driving, where Adenhart was the passenger, and Pearson and Willite were in the back seat. Sends the car flying into a telephone pole. Stewart and Pearson are immediately dead on the scene. Authorities get there. They rush Adenhart and Willite to the hospital, UC Irvine Medical Center, to be exact. And then what happens there is that they attempt to operate on both of them. Willite miraculously survives, and he's still alive to this date, as a matter of fact. But however, Adenhart died during the surgery. It was a terribly sad moment for baseball. Really horrible. And anyways, Gallo got 51 years to life in jail because he also ran away, so he also got charged with hit and run. So I bet you, though, of anything, since he didn't seem like a bad person, his parents divorced, he suffered from depression, and his mother kind of sucked. She didn't care if he drank alcohol or anything like that, so he did to get over his depression. So he made a mistake that's common among a lot of people, pretty much, in starting to drink. So anyways, I bet you anything that he wasn't a bad person or anything, and last time he got drunk, he had signed a waiver saying that if he ever got charged with a DUI and he ended up killing someone in it, he would be charged with murder, which I thought you were already, but whatever. So I bet you anything that when he ran away, I bet you anything that the poor guy was running away to commit suicide because he had such a hard life, and then which led to the problem, which led to drinking, which led to the horrible mistake he made. So that's pretty much what happened. And the Angels postponed the game that night against the A's, which would have been the last game of the 4-game series. No duh. But anyways, the rest of the season was a tribute to him. If you guys don't remember, the Angels, all they did in their celebrations in honor of him, such as running out to the center field fence to celebrate near his picture after they clinched the AL West. Soaking his jersey with beer during their celebrations. Although that one was kind of questionable since a drunk driver killed him, but Adenhart's dad had no problem with it, so I guess it's a non-issue. And then, anyways, they came up short of winning the World Series for him, so any of you guys were like, oh great, they go on to win the World Series for him, this is a great story. Sadly, no, the Yankees ended that hope. And on a side note, that might have caused a lot of people to villainize the Yankees even more than they already do, because even non-Angel fans wanted the Angels to win the World Series that year for Adenhart if their team was in the postseason. I'm an Angel fan. They're my second favorite, obviously. Die-hard Padres fan, as you can tell by the username, and I've said that earlier. But I was bummed when they lost to the Yankees. I really thought that they were going to win it for him. And they had a chance. I mean, if Fuentes holds down that game 2 in extra innings, then it's 2-1 after the Howie Kendrick walk-off hit in game 3, but that's another story. That's not the point of this video. We won't talk about that right now. So back to what I was saying. I pretty much summarized it, and now I want to give you my opinion on it. My opinion? Well, I watched the game because them and the Padres were playing at the same time. So I was flipping channels. I was actually visiting my grandparents' house because it was right before Easter. So I was at my grandparents' house. I was watching the Padre game because they were playing the Dodgers, so it was on Prime. My grandparents live in Central California. But that's another story. That doesn't... Well, that's actually not even another story. That's just plain irrelevant. Anyways, yeah. I was flipping between the Padres and the Angel game, and I saw that Nick was pitching this great game. I'm like, oh, maybe this Adenhart kid is everything he's supposed to be. In fact, I think he is. He pitched great tonight. And then I saw the bullpen blue, and I'm like, oh, what a shame we couldn't get Adenhart to win. Next time we're going to win. So then I wake up the next morning, I turn on ESPN after I eat breakfast, and then I see breaking news. Angels pitcher Nick Adenhart killed by a drunk driver. And then I'm like, what? Wait, what just happened? He just pitched last night. He had his whole career, his whole life in front of him. No, this didn't happen. That's what it was like to me. It was shocked. I mean, after I saw the news, I couldn't move. I was stunned. Even if I wasn't an Angel fan, I would have been stunned. It was just shocking. Out of nowhere. He has his whole career, his whole life in front of him. He's only 22. And then, it's just gone. It's gone, right when you thought it was just getting started. For Angel fans who didn't see him pitch in 2008, it was pretty much like they said hello to him and then had to say goodbye a few hours later. It was just crazy in that perspective, and it was just horribly sad. It was, I don't know, just terrible. And I'm not going to go into going into predicting what could have been his career, what could have happened, and all that. If you want to see that, I'll leave the blog post that I put to my blog. I'll put that in the description. If you watch my blog vlogs, then you already know the link to my blog. But I'm gonna leave I wrote a post about what could have been for Nick, and it's on my blog. It's been on there for a couple days now, at least, and well, a couple days as of the day I'm recording this. It could be weeks, but anyways, it's on there, and you can go check it out. Because I'm not gonna spend 15 minutes talking about it right now when it's on my blog and I can just drop a link. Although I do want you guys to read that though, because it is kind of part of this video. So it's horribly sad what happened to Nick, and I just want a series on YouTube to see. So I asked Nodis Fan if he would do an MLB 14 the show for one of his Road to the shows, because obviously he already has Dog Bones, Fatty Butts, and Skeeter Rabbits. So I'm not going to ask him to do a fourth one. That'd be too much. Like all his Road to Glory characters in NCAA 12 and Blue Mays and Locomotive didn't go anywhere. They barely got into their sophomore seasons. And so anyways, that was way off topic. All I'm going to say is that, so pretty much, that is the tragedy of Nick Adenhart, and this is episode 1 of the What Could Have Been series. Please do check out that blog post in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.